Good morning, YouTube. Prepper Journey here. Glad you could stop by on this wonderful Wednesday, November 2nd. And hello from Idaho. And hope you've got your favorite drink with you. Got mine, chai latte. I just wanted to recognize the veterans out there today and the service that they're performing for our country. Appreciate all that you do. It's a sacrifice being away from your families and your loved ones. I've been there. I've done that during the holidays. It's tough for the families as well and for the children. Unfortunately, when those of us who decide to serve spend time away from our young ones, that's time that we don't get back, and it is tough to try to maintain that that connection with your kids. So, and I know with technology, uh, unlike it was back in the old days, it's a lot easier to stay connected. And but there are certain things that you miss in their growing up, that it's unfortunate. But I really appreciate all that you guys do, um, and I was grateful. I am grateful that I had an opportunity to serve as well. One of my bought my wife a T-shirt when I was overseas, and I gave it to her when I came back on R&R, and it said Navy wife, the hardest job in the Navy. Yeah, I think that goes for all the military wives out there, especially if you're having to deal with little ones. It is rough, and hopefully you have a support network, you have family, you have church, friends, neighbors who will help you while your soldier or your sailor airman is away. Um, but yeah, relish those times that you are together while he or she are in the service. Um, my wife was a real trooper, and it was hard on her during a part of one of my deployments. Um, she actually was pretty depressed, and I didn't even know about it. It's not something that sometimes you're just they don't your loved ones back home don't want to stress you out when you're out serving your country. They don't want you to be burdened with extra stress. So sometimes things aren't said, and that we're unaware of. So make sure you ask those questions, and you let your friends know back home to look after your families. And if you see anything going on, please help. Um, I love all of you guys and what you do, and I love this country, and I do believe it's still worth fighting for. It's still worth the sacrifice. It's not all about money. It's about patriotism, loyalty. We stand on a precipice right now, and on the edge of this precipice during this election season. And if the rule of law is not followed all the way through, and the outcome of this election does not become transparent to all of us, then there's the only thing that will remain is a part of the United States citizenry will feel disenfranchised, will feel like their vote uh, was ignored, or of course many of us have felt like that for a while, that the election process has had some issues. But there will be even more division that's going to take place if the rule of law is not followed. Because I'm okay with either way. If Biden is elected or Trump is elected, I'll be a lot better off psychologically, mentally, spiritually, if I know that the rules of the Constitution were followed, the rule of law vetted out all the fraudulence and the deceit and everything that was attempted during this election. Once it's been rooted out, and if Biden is the clear winner, then so be it. The people have spoken. It's disappointing because there's a socialist revolution going on right before our eyes. And there's a big portion of the Democratic Party that's a part of that. I don't know if all those who vote Democrat, if they feel this way, that they want socialism to replace our republic and the Constitution. Maybe the wool's been pulled over their eyes. I am not sure. But I know that that the vice president pick for Biden is a known Marxist. I don't believe that Biden has what it takes to even be a president, so it's going to fall to, he's going to be a puppet, basically. It's going to fall to the vice president, and it's going to fall to his handlers to call the shots. And he's already said that the first thing on his list is going to be removing the restrictions on illegal aliens to allow them to vote. What this is going to do is it's going to create a situation where the Republicans will never again, in 2024 starting, have enough votes to be able to gain the presidency again. It's going to create a one-party system. It's going to be the Democratic Party. There's not going to be enough Republicans to make a national difference. If we're able to hold on to the Senate through the next 4 years, then there's still hope, and maybe Trump or someone like him will be able to gain back the presidency. But it doesn't look really good if you're going to be passing legislature that's going to allow the borders to be open, wide open, and allow illegal aliens to vote in our electoral system. It's not going to be good. So I know a lot of patriots and preppers out there are scratching our heads, pulling our hair out right now, wondering, has it already been lost? Has that thread that the Constitution has been hanging by for a good bit now, is it about to be severed? Are we going to lose that safety tether to the Constitution once and for all after January? Is that going to be cut? I know I speak for myself that I don't want to see our country go to the wayside. I want to see the American dream. I want to hold on to that. I want to be able to have my kids have freedom, liberty, and have the rule of law in this country that they can follow. I don't want their lives to be controlled, to be told what they can do, what they can't do, when they can travel, how far they can travel, what they can own, what they cannot own, how much food they're allowed to have, whether or not they're allowed to have weapons. I mean, that's scary to think about our children having to go through a world where they're living like that. So if anybody out there who comes to my channel and you're not a conservative, you're not a Republican, um, hopefully this gives you some food to think about, some food for thought. Because if you're a thinking person, I don't know how you would embrace socialism with open arms, especially when we've seen this movie play out before us in the past and it's failed. Look back to the Lenin-Stalin years in Soviet Union. Look at the Gulag system. Look at what has become of Venezuela recently. They're in multiple years now of a failed socialist government. At some point, a major party will or a major entity, a major group will take over the country of Venezuela, and it will be straight communism. Um, and there will be just a few elites running the whole show. They will be the wealthy, and there will only be slaves underneath, peasants, serfs. And if you don't toe the line, and if you don't think correctly, if you don't say the right words, then yeah, it's slavery for you. And they give you little tiny tidbits of freedom every once in a while to keep you toeing the line, and they yank that away from you in a heartbeat when you don't. And that's no life that I want for my kids, for my grandkids. And I know that you all don't want that either. So I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be all doom and gloom, because I know that there's a silver lining in all this. Through this, I want to say that we will be coming together closer than we have since the Great Depression, since the American Revolution. We will begin to gather together in our communities and become closer, know our neighbors more. Life will take on a new meaning. Self-sufficiency will be on the rise. We'll learn how to grow food again, how to take care of ourselves, and not rely on technology so much. Are we going to go to war? There's a lot of talk about that. When things are down, when a country's economy is at rock bottom and their people are almost at the brink of civil war, they tend to want to go to war. I hope not, because there's too many bad weapons in this world that could really hurt a large portion of this earth, and I don't want to see that happen. But I'm a student of history, and I've seen this movie before. I've seen it play out, and all the ingredients are in the mix right now for such a thing happening. And I would rather have somebody like Donald Trump at the helm steering the ship than a leftist radical socialist like Biden and Harris. That's just really scary. Because they're going to roll over for China, and China will be able to come in and take over. And we won't even resist. And we'll become just like China, a communist country. And that's really sad. All those who have died, fought and died, our ancestors, to preserve this country, to preserve the United States Constitution, it will all have been in vain. So, I wanted to also wish you guys a very wonderful holiday season. And I hope that you can, for those of you who are finding yourselves unemployed, that you have support. I pray that you do, that those around you will rally to help you in your time of need, and a way will be made that your burdens will be lightened. Um, and for those of you who can still gather together with your families without these lockdowns, God bless you and wish you the best and wonderful Christmas. And until we meet again, I'm going to be going on 4 nights of work. So I'll probably be doing another video in about 4 or 5 days. So until then, Prepper Journey out. It's good talking with you. Please like and share, or even subscribe if you would. Thank you. Bye-bye.